As you look at a satellite image of Grand Rapids, you will probably notice that one feature is generally missing. Yes, there are all the things you'd expect in a large city: buildings, neighborhoods, businesses, and even a fair number of city parks. And for all their value, every one of these features is controlled, made by humans, and you could say, tame. You'd be hard-pressed to find anything you could call wilderness. Any corner you might hold up as a good example of a natural environment. And then, there's Blandford Nature Center. Blandford is an oasis in an ever-growing, always encroaching urban environment. Blandford stands alone as perhaps the last refuge for children from the inner city to experience, close by, what it means to be in nature. You probably wouldn't be listening to this if you didn't think this special place was worth preserving. If you couldn't remember yourself what it was like to be a child, looking at an owl and wondering what it might be thinking.
If I were an owl, I might be thinking, I wish there were more places like Blandford to hunt and look for mice.
If I were a bobcat, I would be thinking, I am so happy Blandford takes care of me because I can meet so many kids.
If I were a turtle, I would be thinking, this worm tastes so delicious.
Our natural environment and accessible animals spark creativity in children like nothing else. Here, within the major metropolitan city of Grand Rapids, are 143 acres visited by thousands of children and families each year. And while they're here, those children, however brief their visit, can feel what it's like to truly be in the woods, tend their own animals, or even to grow their own food.
If I were a pumpkin, I wouldn't say much at all except maybe,
There is no substitute for getting your own hands dirty in the garden, for collecting eggs from your own chicken, or for hiking through a forest and learning how to identify different trees and plants. There is nothing else like being a few feet away from a large bird of prey and learning how people and wild animals rely on each other every day.
If I were the red-tailed hawk, I would say, why don't more people come and visit me?
Visits to Blandford are remembered for a lifetime. Someday, any one of the children you see here will hold inside him or herself the memory of spending time on our grounds. They will remember making art with their family, watching the garden grow, and learning about frogs and snakes.
If I were that snake, I would be thinking, my tongue is getting very dried out from sticking it in and out all the time.
And for all its traditional programs, Blandford is also innovative in its approach to bringing in new visitors. This summer we hosted Site Lab, the art collaboration popularized in Art Prize, where we served as the gallery that allowed local artists to display their interpretations of what constitutes a home. We are more frequently hosting musicians and promoting wellness through hiking on our trails. We have even tapped into Grand Rapids beer culture through a collaboration with Brewery Vivant and our own maple syrup. The fact is, Blandford has become more than it ever was in the past. We have adopted many new approaches to foster greater awareness of this jewel in our city. We are proud of where we're headed and proud of how we maintain the traditions that many of you personally cherish.
If I was the osprey, I was all better, I would fly up into the sky and I would look all around and I would come back to Blandford because it's the best place for me to be.
On behalf of every family and every child you help with your support, we'd like to say thank you. We have come a long way, and together we have a long way to go.